Very important message, students, regarding discussion boards, grades, and procedures for going forward. It's just recently come to my attention that the discussion boards did not copy correctly. For your first discussion board assignment, I'm not going to be able to, I'm not going to put you through going back and redoing it. So we're going to use that one as a practice, and if you participated, I will grade your posting. And it's going to be a little loosey-goosey. But going forward, it's going to be very important to read, follow the instructions. And I want to thank the classmate who reached out to me, and I want to say, folks, that you've got to read the instructions, and if things are not going right, you got to talk to me about it because it will affect your grade. So going forward, please take very careful attention. Okay, let me talk a little bit about what's going on. In this first discussion, I'm going to click on the discussion board link so that I can go into it. It gives you the detailed instructions. My computer's a little slow, bear with me. And it says, this is what you have to do. You're to follow these instructions. And then here in red type, there are some special instructions that seem to have been ignored here, okay? It says to earn points in this discussion, you're expected to make 2 postings. 2 postings, folks. Each posting must be placed under the correct thread of the discussion. So be sure that you open the thread before you post the reply. Now, most of you ignored this instruction. It said, otherwise you will not earn any points for all that hard work. Now, I'm going to, because there was a little bit of an error, I'm going to give you credit here, but henceforth, forevermore, and always, that will not be the case. Folks, you're studying leadership. This is the opportunity for you to lead, to speak up, to talk to me respectfully, and to say, I don't know, where is this thread? What are we talking about? Okay, so do not start a new thread. See, do not start a new, do not. Okay, I'm trying to tease you a little bit. Let's not get mad, but let's pay attention here, okay? All right, now I tell you about the movie. Now, here's what was missing that I just added, and I added it because I want you to use this opportunity to practice. Like I said, as you participate, I'm going to just grade your participation this time, but going forward, it'll be important that you understand and that you post correctly. Now, these 2 postings were not here previously. I just added them. The system did not copy them correctly. So what I have to do is manually go to all your other assignments and add these in and add these in and add these in. I have your next discussion set up, and I'm going to show you that. Okay, so here we are. What you should have done, see this Unit 1, Part 1 of 2, Unit 1, Part 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. Now, you can sort these however you like, but let's just use, Part 1 here as an example. This was dealing with Colonel Davenport, as the title describes. So I'm going to click to open that. That's what you should have done, except for it wasn't there. One of your classmates said, hey, what's going on? It's not there. And that's the right thing to do, and that student's going to get bonus points as a result, okay? Now, look at this. In your first post, you will discuss the following. Now, the post that I saw did not do any of this. You were missing instructions, but you were notified that those instructions were there. Okay, folks? So we got to kind of all work together here. And going forward, that's what you're going to be expected to do, is open the piece, the thread that's out there, and then, and I'm going to post a reply here so that you can see, this is where the student reply for your required post 1 of 2 should be placed. And did you see how I did that? So and now I'm going to click on post. Now, you would have followed the instructions there, right? And now you see I've posted, and there goes my post. Now I'm going to go back out to the main topic, view topic. And okay, here's my Unit 1 discussion, and it did say you have to have 2 postings. Each posting must be placed under the correct thread. So I just posted to Part 1 of 2. Now I'm going to come down here to Part 2 of 2, and I'm going to read the instructions for part 2 of 2. And it's going to tell me that I should be talking about General Savage. It's going to explain to me I'm supposed to talk about characteristics of strength, weakness, both. And you kind of missed out on this assignment because you didn't reach out to me and say, what is this requirement for the 2 post, and we're supposed to reply. Okay, so I'm just saying that going forward, folks, you know, this is your class, and we have to work together. You can't just say, Okay, so you're leaders, you're studying leadership, and I'm going to post a reply. Now, you know, again, I'm looking for depth here. As I said in your syllabus, you have to demonstrate your understanding. And I will grade the post that you made, but I have to say, as I've looked at them, folks, I don't see a lot of demonstrating of understanding. And that's that's an obligation to you as a student. So you're going to come in here and you're going to say, let me get out of that, click here, and I'm going to say, you know, now you would type something, you know, that conforms to these instructions. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm trying to be brief here. I'm going to say, this is an example of where the second posting would be made. Okay? So there we are. Now, I made a mistake, and I am giving you points as a result of that, right? I'm grading your participation, but it's essential. And what I'm concerned about here is that going forward, you're going to say, I didn't do this, I wasn't told. And you can't do that, folks. I need you to be leaders in this process. I need you to step up to the plate and say, hey, when I see in red text that I'm supposed to click to open a thread before I post, and I don't understand, that I'm going to speak up, okay? Especially when there's supposed to be 2, and there's really wasn't any guidance on what that posting was supposed to do, and so you kind of made up your own instructions, and that's not what we're talking about here, folks. Okay, so now let me tell you what I did with Unit 2 discussion. That one may not. Okay, is that one open? Yes. Okay. No, it opens tomorrow. Okay, so I've already got it out here waiting for you. You're going to read these, this discussion assignment that deals with Hotel Rwanda. You have that same instruction. You're expected to make 2 postings. Each posting must be placed under the correct thread, so be sure that you click to open the thread before you post a reply. And so this is what you're going to do. You're going to do exactly what, you know, I just described. Now, as your instructor, I just made these posts because, as I said, they didn't copy. Okay, so what are you going to have to do? Well, you're going to have to come in here. You're going to say, okay, regarding Greenleaf, what do I need to do? I'm going to click that. I'm going to read these instructions. Even gives me some pages in my textbook, so this is a good, you know, time for us to talk about this. And you're going to give an example of when Paul Rusesabagina demonstrated qualities described on these pages. And as you watch Hotel Rwanda, you will just really be fascinated by Paul. He's an amazing person, and it's a, you know, real life story. And I think we can all look at him and say, I hope that I would be that brave given that situation. Okay, now this is not open yet because the top level discussion is not there. So I don't have the post a reply button quite yet. It will come, okay? It will be there as soon as this posting is open, right? Okay, let me go back to the main thing, because when does it open? It opens Saturday, and then you'll have till February. Now, I'll post a response to that, but what else do I need to do? Well, I need to read these instructions to make sure I can find out. And, you know, here it tells me again the article that I'm going to read, some page numbers to read, talks a little bit about Paul. And, you know, again, there's some instructions. Need to make sure that I read those instructions so that I get full points. Again, make sure that you're demonstrating understanding. Okay, now again, I don't have yet the post or reply button because this discussion does not open until tomorrow. Okay, so my goal is not to confuse you. Let me go back to the discussion list and let me just briefly recap. In Unit 1, your grading is going to be to your advantage because there was a mistake. The system didn't copy everything that it was supposed to copy. I'm not going to penalize you for that. I want you to succeed. This is a great class, and I love the information. I want you to love the information, and I want you to get as much out of it as I got out of it. Okay, but going forward, in order for that to happen, it is going to be important that you follow those directions, you know, that you do everything you have to do. And so I hope that you feel comfortable doing that. Now, you can see there's 2 threads out there. You need to reply to that thread. These numbers should not increase to 3, and you need to be replying to the threads I've created. Now you see I still have my work cut out for me because the system didn't copy those posts for Unit 4, Unit 5, so I will be adding those, but I have a little bit of time to do that. But it was important to me to get with you and to coordinate so that we're all on the same page, okay? All right, I hope that helps. If not, email me with questions. If necessary, I'll do another video so that we're clear, but hopefully the demonstration that I gave you in terms of Unit 1 will be helpful. Okay, sorry for the little bump in the road as we get started, but I think we'll be okay going forward. And I appreciate you, and I especially appreciate the student who said, hey, these instructions aren't making sense. Help me out there. And we'll be talking to you soon. I know you got a lot of work to do, so I'll let you get to it. Thanks, y'all.